Harvey and I warm ourselves in all these golden moments. We have entered as strangers, soon we have friends. They come over. They sit with us. They talk with us. They tell us about the big, terrible things they've done, and the big, wonderful things they will do. Their hopes, their regrets, their loves, their hates. All very large, because nobody ever brings anything small to a bar. Then, I introduce them to Harvey, and he's bigger and grander than anything they offer me. When they leave impressed. The same people seldom come back, but that's envy, my dear. There's a little bit of envy in the best of us. Too bad, isn't it?
Mr. Dowd, how did you happen to call him Harvey?
Harvey's his name.
Yes, but how do you know that?
That's an interesting question. One night several years ago, I was walking down Fairfax Street between 18th and 19th. You know what block?
Yeah.
I had just helped Ed Hickey into a taxi. Ed had been mixing his rye with his gin, and I felt he needed conveying. I started to walk down the street when I heard a voice saying, "Good evening, Dowd." I turned, and it was a great white rabbit leaning against a lamppost. Well, I thought nothing of that, because when you've lived in the town as long as I lived in this one, you get used to the fact that everyone knows your name. Naturally, I went over to chat with him. He told me, "Ed Hickey's a little spiffed tonight, unless I'm mistaken." Of course, he wasn't mistaken. I think the world and all of Ed, but that boy was spiffed. We talked, and eventually I said, "You have the advantage over me. You know my name, but I don't know yours." Right back at me, he said, "What name do you like?" Well, I didn't have to think for a minute about that. Harvey's always been my favorite name. And so I said, "Harvey," and this is the rather interesting part of the whole situation. He said, "What a coincidence. My name happens to be Harvey."
Mr. Dowd, what was your father's name?
John Frederick.
Mr. Dowd, when you were a child, you had a playmate, didn't you? Someone who you were very fond of, with whom you spent many happy, carefree hours.
Oh, yes, Doctor, didn't you?
Yes, well, what was his name?
Vern McElhenney. Did you know the McElhenneys, Doctor?
No.
Oh, too bad. There were a lot of them, and they circulated. Nice people.
Mr. Dowd, think carefully. Wasn't there someone, somewhere, sometime that you knew by the name of Harvey? Didn't you ever know anybody by that name?
No, Doctor, sorry. I guess that's why I always had such hopes for it.
Come on, Wilson, go take Mr. Dowd upstairs now.
I'm taking him nowhere. You've made this your show, now you run it. Let him stand there, forgetting all about the doctor. It's your show, you run it.
Come on, Dowd. Come on, Elwood.
Very well, Lyman. But I can't stay for long. I promised Harvey I'd take him to your show. Oh, boy.
Doctor, are you all right?
All right, of course I'm all right. Lock that door, I'm being followed.
Follow. Who's following you?
It's none of your business.